My name is Gus, and this is Q Sources on the Bench. Jim LaFrance of Excelta Corporation is back to talk about the wide variety of common and specialty tweezers available from Excelta.
My name is Jim LaFrance, and I'm sitting here at Q Source on Long Island, our favorite distributor. And I'd like to talk this morning about a little bit about the evolution of tweezers over the last 25 years. Tweezers were first made in about 1889, and they were standard metal products like this. So when you talk about tweezers, most people think of a metal tool that's pointed. Over time, applications changed, and these pointed tweezers didn't do the job quite as well. For instance, with the advent of working under more magnification, we make miniature tweezers. These are about 2 3/4 inches long. They have the same style numbers as the standard metal tweezers, but they're very tiny, and you can get under a microscope with them very nicely. With the advent of wafers, people needed ways of picking up a wafer and not touching it. And so wafer tweezers were developed about 1980. And this particular one here has 5 feet on it. That means it's a 5-inch wafer tweezer. Pick up a 5-inch radius or a 5-inch diameter wafer. Today we have components that we cannot mark or scar with a metal tweezer, possibly scratch. A lot of people are using soft tip tweezers, and most of these soft tip tweezers have replaceable tips. They come in 4 different materials. This happens to be a carbofib material. It's a static dissipative and it's soft, and like I say, it has replaceable tips, and the tips come in different sizes. You can also buy it in a copolymer material, which is clean room safe, PEEK, which is a high temperature material, or a white Delrin. With the advent of surface mount, when you pick up a little chip capacitor and squeeze too hard, it flies across the room. These surface mount tweezers were developed about 10 years ago, and they feature a paddle on the tip. And what that paddle does is allow you to pick up a square or rectangular component and squeeze it as hard as you want, and it'll never fly away. You can drop the tweezer, and the tips won't bend. And also when you're soldering, it acts as a better heat sink. This is really great for surface mount. Now for people that are making hearing aids and very tiny electronics and need to cut very tiny wires, we've developed a line of cutting tweezers. This is probably the largest one, and they'll cut 30 AWG soft wire and smaller, and they'll get into very tiny places. Hearing aid industry is a good application for this. We've also taken standard tweezers, and to make them more ergonomic, we've dipped them in a cushioned material. They also are static dissipative, 2 × 10⁷ ohms per square. And they also protect the operator from heat. They're doing a lot of soldering, the heat tends to travel up the tweezer, and this cushion grip protects the operator from the heat. So there are a lot of different tweezers aimed at specific applications. So best thing you can do is contact your local distributor, Q Source, and ask for some demos on some of these new types of tweezers.